All right. Hello, this is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers Academy. And this is our Poshmark and Mercari workshop part 2. So we're going to talk about Poshmark today. We're going to go ahead and get started. All right. So from our previous training, part 1, we actually covered Mercari, how to install the app, how to create a listing. We talked about Mercari's fees and also how to get paid with Mercari. So the products you can and cannot sell on Mercari and some of the shipping, processing, purchasing shipping via Mercari and handling returns. It's actually pretty simple. All of it happens within the app. After you've had your first sale, then you'll remember where to navigate to go figure out how to purchase your shipping. But a lot of it is covered in the app. Today, we're going to talk about Poshmark. We're going to talk about installing the app, creating a listing. We're going to talk about the Poshmark fees, how to get paid, some of the products you can and cannot sell on Poshmark, shipping to your customers, and handling returns. All the same things. I do encourage you, if you have not sampled selling on Mercari or Poshmark and you have inventory that you're really looking to get rid of, those two platforms are a great opportunity for you to bring in some extra cash flow and or get rid of some extra stuff that's laying around your house, declutter. So consider doing that. There's also some other amazing apps like OfferUp and 5 Mile. They will also do very similar to Mercari, very, very much similar to Mercari, whereas Poshmark is more of a social platform. So you want to look into those. And if you're a person that likes to be part of all types of listing parties and sales like that, then Poshmark again is a social platform. And if you sell products, if you've got inventory that's nicer or high end, boutique, unique, that kind of stuff, Poshmark might be the platform for you. So there's a lot of females buying off of Poshmark, but there's also a lot of females selling on Poshmark. So it was launched in 2011. It is a social commerce platform where you can sell, used clothes and new clothes and accessories. They have a lot of sellers, but they also have a lot of buyers, and over 60 million buyers in the US and in Canada. So again, they started with selling clothing, makeup, and accessories, and they've grown into home goods and holiday. So the way that you gain access to or get the Poshmark app is you need to go to the Google Play or App Store, and you need to search for Poshmark, and then you need to select install. So you can see here the Poshmark icon is sort of a burgundy color. It looks like two P's upside down or a straight up and down figure 8 in some ways. That's the way I see it. And so that's how you find the app on your phone. And again, it's like a burgundy sort of reddish color. All right, my down arrow is not working. So to create your account, after you click on install, you can log in with Facebook, or you can log in and sign up with your own email. I prefer to sign up with my own email versus using my other social media platforms. But if you decide to use your other social media platforms to sign into Poshmark, then a lot of information about you is just going to come right over. Versus setting it up from scratch, you're going to have to, add some stuff so that they know who you are and how to find you. You'll notice that there's some buttons at the bottom when you first, create your account and you log in. So some buttons at the bottom. You have your feed. You have the ability to shop. The sale is right in the middle, which is very similar to the other platforms where the sale is a camera that's in the middle. You have news, and then you also have your specific account itself. So log in as me. And you'll also see here, they'll showcase or feature some specific brands and specific products. So you can have your specific products showcased, especially if you follow other people or people follow you. So things that you need to know when you actually log into your app. Okay. So you'll see here when you go to the news, which there's always a lot of news, they'll tell you who's following you. You'll also see if there was anything like someone is having an event and they've invited you to it. You'll also see, and when it is, So they host online sort of listing parties to showcase the products that they have or a specific product. And when you first join, a lot of people will potentially um, decide that they want to join you as well, or they want to follow you as well. You can see up here as you go through it, this scrolls across up at the very top. So you have all of the news, which is what I was looking at here. So it's the burgundy, this color. And then, so I can see all of it. I can see comments, anything that anyone has commented on. Maybe I have a listing that someone has commented on. Any offers that I've received and any orders that I have, I can click on the orders tab. As I continue to go across, if I have any likes of any of the products that I put up, any listings, any bundles, they will showcase here. In addition to that, they'll also any stories that you're posting. So remember, this is a social platform, so you can post stories there. And if you want to share, you can go and if you have any shares, someone shares your stuff, then you'll see the shares here of people share your products or you sharing products out. In addition to that, follows, anyone that might be following you and anyone that you might be following as well. And then the last column is your account. And going into your account, so if you click on account, so remember we have all of our buttons down here, and then I go up and I can go into my account. I can see here your guide to Poshmark, which they give you some level of guidance on what you need to do and how to do what you need to do. Some things you need to remember when you first create your account, they're going to go through Posh etiquette and you have to agree to the terms of service. All platforms have some level of terms of service or agreement that you have to follow. You can invite friends to join Poshmark and you can earn some cash from that. You can see if your friends are already on Poshmark and you can follow them or you can find them. Then you can go through your closet. These are some of your listings, any drafts that you have, any likes that you have, any offers, bundles. So all the same things that are up here, you see that down here, your profile, your size, so that way, if someone is selling products that might meet your size, then they can place or they can, maybe put it before you. And then my purchases, any purchases I have, my purchase method. In addition to that, my payment method of however I plan to pay for any products that I might buy, and my address. If you're sharing that information, you're going to have to ship some stuff. So you got to have a shipping return address anyway. And when people need to ship stuff to you, they need to have an address. So you can put in a default address. Some of this stuff you can set up later. You don't have to set it all up when you first create your account. Any of your sales, your balance, any of your Poshmark stats, any selling tools. So they have a couple. Let me just look real quick. I actually have the app open right now. So under seller tools, you can see your shoppers, your campaigns, if you're running any campaigns, any of your discounts that you might be offering. Your sales reports are there. Your inventory reports are there. If you want to put your store on hold, you can find that under your seller tools. If you need to update your shipping label settings, you can find that there. Your taxpayer information is also under seller tools, along with your reposh settings. And get a boutique started. So if you want to set up a boutique, you have the ability to do that. Notifications, you receive any notifications from Poshmark or from buyers or potential people that are interested in your products or people who have liked a product or shared your product. You can log out, and then you have, this is Poshmark specific, them helping you getting information from them, frequently asked questions, your status of your account. Hopefully your account will be in good standings. And you'll find as you sell on different platforms, it is important, for one, you understand the terms of service for the platform you're selling on, but two, that you keep your account in good standings. So what can you sell on Poshmark? You can sell clothes, accessories, makeup, new, of course, boutique items, which I mentioned before, purses and bags. People sell a lot of shoes there as well. And then home goods like bath, bedding, kitchen, accents, holiday stuff, holiday specific stuff, home decor, office, things like that. You can't sell, and this is going to be very similar to the other platforms. Of course, they don't want you selling any fakes or replicas. So don't sell your fake Gucci bag. Don't sell your fake whatever else bag that you want to sell, or shoes. You can't sell products that have impacted a specific species or threatened them in any kind of way. You can't sell recurring anything that's a recurring requiring a prescription, medical products, and anything that is representative of Native American arts and crafts or that has been stolen. Definitely don't sell stolen stuff. And there are other things that you can't sell, but those are just the highlights. You're not going to sell you're not going to sell drugs, you're not going to sell alcohol, you're not going to sell weapons. So most of the platforms are going to tell you that you can't sell those things. So listing on Poshmark, you're going to go to the sell button, which is the button that we talked about before. Once you click on the sell button, you're going to select the picture that you've already taken. So the one thing you want to do before you get started, if you want to list, make sure you take your pictures first. Whatever the products are, make sure they're already on your phone and they're accessible. Make sure you have good pictures, front and back, side. Make sure that if anything is unraveling or if it's a slight nick or tear, that you take that close-up picture, same as any other platform, and that you also make sure you note it a little bit in the listing itself. The other thing is, like, some of these clothes are made that way. They're already tattered and I don't know, they're already destroyed. Again, that is the look. So some of that stuff, you just want to make sure that you point that out when you create the listing. And those people that are interested in those types of products, they'll sort of know that that's the style. Um, your pictures need to be edited prior to uploading them to Poshmark. So again, there isn't any way to edit them on Poshmark. So you want to take your pictures first. And then once you take your pictures and you clean them up, then you're ready to start the listing process. So if you're trying to put together a strategy for yourself, what you might do is, again, if your strategy is to create 10 new listings a day or 5 new listings a day, go make sure you've taken the pictures of the 5 products that you want to sell, front, back, side, label or tag, top to bottom, everything that you want people to see or know about that. So if you have 5 pictures or 8 pictures per product, that's fine. Just go take all those pictures first, clean them up, make sure they're ready to go. All right. Then when you get ready to create a listing on Poshmark, you need to make sure that you have a title. You indicate the brand, the type of clothes, and the size. That's extremely important. People are going to ask questions, and include those important keywords because people do search by specific things. So there's a lot of name brand stuff that's on Poshmark. Those people that are looking for those gently used name brand items, they're definitely going to type those name brands in, or specific types of products. They're going to type them in. So make sure you include that those keywords in the important keywords, at least in the first 5 words of the listing. Okay. You want to describe the item. And as I said before, anything that's just like tattered or torn, that's not the way you bought it, where it is designed that way or sold that way. Measurements are always going to be important. Sometimes you need to add a little extra measurement information. So sometimes people will ask for odd things like what is the length of the shirt arm to arm, or what is the width of the chest underarm to underarm. And so you need to make sure you have those measurements if it is like a name brand something and it's a common question. Okay. And you'll get the feel for it the more you go out and source and find things to sell onto Poshmark. The category in which you plan to sell it in, plus the subcategory, if that's applicable. If there is no subcategory, then that's fine. Then the quantity, how many do you have in stock? And as I said before, the size and the brand. So you want to have that information ready, especially you're going to put that important information in the title so that people know what you have, what it is, and what the size and brand is. In addition to that, you want to include the color and the pricing for that particular item. So the original price and listing price that you can share and when you create the listing on Poshmark. And then in the upper right hand corner, you're going to click on the list button when you start the process, when you create this listing. You can also share this onto other platforms if you want to. If you're using a tool like List Perfectly, you can create it in List Perfectly and then have List Perfectly push it over to Poshmark. So that's always an option as well. You can start a Posh party if you want to. And then, as I said before, you have the ability to share. You can share your items to followers by tapping on that share. So if people have been following you, you can share your products out to them so that they can see them. You can share them out to your other social media platform. So you have the ability to get a little more eyeballs and a little more traction on the specific product. People who open up a boutique, like, they do really well because at some point their boutique starts to get some following, get some name recognition, and they start to get a lot of followers. So when they push things out, it's just like an automatic win for them, and they're going to get that sale. And so if you're a person that's been doing a lot of thrifting, you go out, you find some really great things and you get some sales, like, you can gain a following on Poshmark of instant customers that whenever you have something that is awesome that they're looking for, that you can push it out, and they can take advantage of that notification. Okay. So, Posh parties, they have several parties throughout the day. The Posh parties are real virtual shopping events where sellers and buyers meet up and they shop, as I said before, and they sell clothing and accessories. So some of the examples: Posh parties, 9 a.m. brand party, 12 o'clock category party, 4 o'clock department party, and 7 o'clock style party, hosted by Poshmark ambassadors. So the more you sell on that platform, the more you're going to see some of those types of parties and things like that. I know I get notifications all day. Like, I have the notifications on my phone for Poshmark are just all day long, like all day long. So you want to be mindful of that too. And I'm like, okay, I'm not all day long person. Just tell me what I got to sell. So shipping on Poshmark, the seller pays for shipping. So the shipping, it's not 7-Eleven right now. I think the price has changed. So you want to double check that. It's just a little bit more than that, unless you give a discounted rate via an offer. Now, Poshmark is going to send you the label to your email address. You pack it and you put it in the packaging, and then you can use free priority boxes if you're sending a priority mail. If they gave you a priority slip, you can use those free boxes and or envelopes to ship things in. So I will tell you, clothing fits great in a padded envelope, a flat rate padded envelope. Depending on what it is, it could also sit in, go well in the regular cardboard type of envelopes as well. You can drop the item off at the post office, or you can schedule pickups at your front door, which is fantastic. Scheduling pickups, if you have a relationship with your postman, or you know who they are, they know who you are, you can coordinate that kind of stuff, which is great for you. So this is how you get paid on Poshmark. So your earnings are released to you after the buyer accepts the item. The buyer has 3 days to accept the item, and then after that, the funds are automatically released into your account. Now, you can choose to have the balance sent directly to your bank via direct deposit, and on your app, you can go see what your balance is. You can see what your pending amount is, and you can redeem those with whichever method you want for your earnings. So when you set up your account, you're going to be putting in some banking information and or how you want to get paid. So when I go into mine, I'm like actually pulling up my account right now. Yeah, there's a couple of things I need to update. So I can go and see my balance, and I can go and see how I can, says redemption history and my redeemable balance activity. So I can go see how I redeem things um, and the money that I've made. So there's a lot of information that you have in your back office, but you do need to set up your payment methods. So important, so very important, so that you can get paid. So after 3 days. The buyer has 3 days to inspect the item. So again, once it's delivered, they have 3 days. Once the buyer's accepted the item, the sale is final, and they cannot um, they can't have a return on that item. The reasons that the item can be returned is undisclosed damage. In other words, in your listing, you didn't include that information. missing or incorrect information. So maybe you sent the wrong item to a person or it's not authentic. In other words, they discover it's a fake. You don't want that problem. So don't sell fake products. Okay. Poshmark will provide the label to the buyer to return the item, and the refund will be a pending payment until that is received. So the reasons not covered in the returns, like if the item doesn't fit or they change their mind, they cannot do a return on that. And then canceling an order, a buyer has 3 hours from the time of the purchase to cancel the order. So that saves you a lot of time, especially around Q4, if they have 3 hours to do that. So I talked before about List Perfectly. There's a couple of other tools that will allow you to cross list your items from Poshmark onto some of the other platforms. And that's Vendoo and cross listed. I haven't tested Vendoo. I have used List Perfectly for a while now. And I actually like that tool. I got that idea from Kelly over a year ago. Plus, they were also one of our vendors or one of our speakers at our summit. So I appreciate them. So the thing that I wanted to make sure that we kind of covered is we want you to understand what Poshmark is and the ability to sell your products if you got inventory, especially inventory that's been returned to you or you have to pull back from it like an Amazon warehouse or wherever. Go list it on Poshmark, especially if it's nice and it's quality products. Installing the app, again, go to the App Store. You can go over to the Apple App Store or you can go to Google Play and look for the purple upside down peas. Not purple, sorry. Burgundy upside down peas. The purple or lilac is the Mercari. So if you look for the burgundy colored upside down peas together, you'll see it. Poshmark fees. I do not, let me just see. Yeah, we didn't cover fees, so I'll have to pull that up real quick. We didn't cover the fees. And then what you can and cannot sell, how to ship stuff to your customers, customer service and return. So the return process, we kind of talked through that. You want to make sure you're responding to your customer questions all the time, regardless of the platform in which you're selling on. And, if you have any questions, this is a great time to go over to the eCom Sellers Academy Facebook group and ask your questions. So I'm going to go and pull up Poshmark selling fees. I don't remember seeing it, which we probably somehow forgot to put that on there. So let me just click. So the selling fee policy, here it is. So we have it. All the fees are simple and straightforward. So it's free to list. There you go. And then after the first sale, we deduct a small fee. For sales under $15, the flat fee of $2.95. For sales above $15, it is 20%, and you keep 80%. So that's pretty much how it works on Poshmark, which is pretty straightforward. So I hope this information is helpful to you. If you have any questions about Poshmark or Mercari, or you want to get started on those platforms, I encourage you to go do that now. Take action, stop this video and go take action, and then you can restart over again to make sure you're good to go. And if you have any questions that are related to this or not related to this, you can ask them inside the eCom Sellers Academy Facebook group right now. You can type those questions underneath this video so we can talk about what your questions are and address them. So with that, we're going to say good night for now. Thanks so much for joining us.